first question for today's Q&A says, I'm about to finish up my final course and take my state and national exam to get my real estate license. I'm still trying to choose a broker right now. I want to go into this whole thing as mainly a listing agent like you did. I have 2 kids, and working with demanding buyers just doesn't sound appealing to me. When I say I want to be a listing agent, people just laugh and say good luck. How did you establish yourself this way?
I wonder why people laugh and just say good luck.
Maybe because they know, statistically, most real estate agents work with buyers, and especially most new real estate agents are not listing heavy at all. So I think that's probably why they laugh, 'cause they're like, oh, it's harder. But I don't know that I would even say it's harder. It's all about where you put your focus. Like, who are you marketing to?
Yeah, it's a completely different job, and that's why, like, for the audience out there, understand and realize there are differences between sellers agents and buyers agents, listing agents and buyers agents, whatever you want to call it.
And starting out, we were extremely listing heavy, and our business has shifted a little more. Where lately, I've been working with more buyers, and you work with a lot more listings than I do. But up until recently, we really didn't, we were very, very, very listing heavy.
I always tell people, like, when I'm talking to them, and like, for instance, I work within the community often, right? So, and I coach at Cascade. I'm a wrestling coach there. And a lot of people coming back to my community that I grew up in, they're saying, hey, Spence, what are you up to? What are you doing? I see that I had one comment say I was a lender at one point. And I was like, no, actually. And so I constantly have to kind of re-educate people and just let them know kind of what I've been up to. And it's real estate. And there are differences, though. Listing is a lot harder, I would say, in a sense, because I always ask myself, how can I get my foot in the door? And that's and what are you more passionate about too?
Let me say this. I would say it's harder at first, because it's a lot easier for a brand new agent to just go open up the door for a buyer and facilitate the transaction.
Yes.
It's harder at first, but once you get the skills down and the systems in place, it is easier. But it takes a while to get there. But the reason it's harder is because it takes more time putting in. There's just a lot more you got to get good at.
It would seem to me it's a challenge getting, once you've listed it, you got to find the buyers for the house. And so you got to figure out, how do I market it? How do I get the word out, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
And that's true. And that's kind of like that next question or step as to, like, for instance, I was on the phone earlier this week, and we're on a cold call, and I'm searching for sell by owners at this point, and there's always the comment constantly being driven at you and saying, why? You're just an overpaid marketer. Why would I hire you? And that's the beauty in that question that I get to relate to and revert back to my actual skill set, my jobs, and actually, no, this is like, you went to school, right, to become a mortgage lender or mortgage broker, right? You had to get licensed. Well, same thing applied for me. I had to go get licensed within this real estate exam and pass the national and state side of this exam to do what I do. It's a lot more than a marketing professional. Yes, there is a lot of marketing to do.
You wear a lot of different hats.
Yeah, you wear a lot of different hats.
But
you're a GM, right?
Yes.
So.
To circle back around, the answer to that question, how to actually do that, I think my biggest thing would be to target people who are wanting to sell and get really good at that. Say, for sell by owners, that's one thing I did. It could be Spencer does a lot of expired listings. Find just one way at least, and then just get really good at that instead of trying to do everything.
That's probably the best advice you could say, is try to be really good at one thing before you do all the things.
And that applies to, like, everything.
Kind of life.
In life.